Welcome to another edition of Burbsbros. You know what this is. It's your pals, Sean Donnelly and Dan St. Germain. You've
known me for 20 fucking years.
Dan St. Germain. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Sean's mispronouncing my name because he was hot before the podcast started.
I had a nice
We did have a get. Okay, for our show, Burbsbros.
We were supposed to have
Wait, we should just put the log line of the show.
Okay.
All right. Burbsbros, it's a show where we talk about crazy suburban news stories. That's it. We just read those off and we riff on them. And every once in a while we have a guest, okay? In these first couple, Ian Finance is going to be one, all right? I'm not sure what the order is just yet.
Yeah.
But today we were supposed to have Christy Stefano.
Right here. You see this handsome devil right here?
Who fucking told us 10 minutes before the show he couldn't do it.
We told him...
We're 10 minutes into the show.
Yes, we were here already. Showtime started. This kid wasn't here. This fucking flake that I was freaking the fuck out, and we told him yesterday.
You know, you think our generation's Joe Piscopo would do it.
He's so adorable.
You think Wish Travolta? You fucking asshole.
I hope fucking Travolta rapes him from the...
just corners him on a talk show.
Hello.
Just redoes that other story he had.
Yeah,
when he
makes him wear Kelly Preston's wig.
It gave him a bunch of hope on Letterman, and he just takes it away. It was a 14-year grooming by Travolta.
There is something funny about, like, all right, we'll get to the show in a second, but I was watching the R. Kelly documentary, and, you know, the first couple, like, these girls are like, I was 16, and he made me pee in my chair, and you're like, this is awful. And then it gets to a point where there's like, I was 38 when I met R. Kelly.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, well, this was after the Chappelle sketch. You have a master's degree. You should have kind of done the math on this.
You have all the information.
Yeah, you have all the information.
You should have figured it out. I was 38.
Well, that's the thing. I was the same night I watched like the serial killer. This guy who had abducted this woman was like forcing her to do crimes. Awful. And you could tell she's like, please don't put the lights on. It was trauma.
Like a Patty Hearst type scenario.
Yeah, very like real trauma. And then I watched the Kevin Spacey documentary and he's like, he touched my dink at a House of Cards party. Well, and you're like, dude, you're a grown ass man.
I watched the Kevin Spacey one and he has a type. He's very patriotic. He loves our military.
Oh, he loves a straight man who hates a gay man.
But then you watch these guys and they're like, it's all these guys that you're like, obviously you really thought you had this confidence coming out of the military. You thought he was going to get you multiple acting jobs.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that. When I started, I said this. I worked for a guy who said that if I did well on a bringer show, I would get a writing job on Law and Order. How does that even fucking connect? And I was so coked up, I was like, well, sounds good.
I will say this. When I watch documentaries like the Kevin Spacey one, it actually, all the bad things about being from Long Island, I'm glad of how cynical we are and how much we don't trust things when it comes to stuff like that. Because these guys were truly traumatized.
What's the Long Island cult thing, you think? Like, what are the mediums? Like, you guys get fucking hosed by mediums.
They get hosed by mediums.
Like, Sarah's telling me my wife Sarah is from Long Island. My wife Sarah was telling me about parties where, like, you show up to these parties in Long Island and there's like 4 mediums at a table.
I told you that.
You told me that?
My mom went to.
You guys are very similar.
We have similar vibes.
She now has bigger boobs than Sean because he got implants. They changed.
You go to a Italian restaurant in Setauket, and you walk in, and there's this table set up, and you get yourself some rigatoni, and then you sit with the medium, and they just kind of like cold read you for a couple minutes.
Well, it's just so fun because we have a story about Long Island later on. They're so closed off to everything, but they're very open to psychics.
That's the one of my favorite things. You know how you can sum up Long Island, and then we'll move on. Mm-hmm. There used to be a Jim Brewer bit. Either it was from Opie and Anthony or it was from his stand-up. I think it might have been from Heavy Metal, where he talks about Long Islanders going to the city, and he goes, I'm not going to the city. You got to switch to Jamaica. I'm not switching to Jamaica. Just the idea of them going to Queens for 15 seconds.
My aunt and uncle, they're in North Jersey. You could not pay them to get into New York City.
Dude, there's people who...
You know what? I agree with them now. I didn't, but now I'm starting... Which is part of the point of our podcast.
It's not... But to go once in a blue moon for a show or a dinner...
If you're rich, dude, New York City for a week, like when I would come here from... Because I lived in L.A. for 4 years. I was right down a couple shows, and then I would come here to do stand up on like my hiatuses or whatever. And those hiatuses were the best time I've ever had in New York, where you're just doing the hottest shows. You're only there for 2 weeks. The time I was in my single days,
laid.
enjoyed. But that was the best times. And then, now like living here, like with a family, like it's not, all the romance is gone. Like if I had kids, I would fucking blow my brains.
Yeah, you'd be gone. You'd be gone in a second.
You kind of have a kid.
I kind of have a kid, but we're in a place where it's like I'm stepdad adjacent. So it's like I don't cut to call the shots of where he is. But I will say, weirdly, where we are in Manhattan is family conducive, but for Manhattan,
that area.
If he was out in Queens in the middle of Forest Hills, or he's in Long Island somewhere with a backyard, it'd be exponentially better.
What does it go like? Are there things that you're able to discipline him on? Like if something happens, like what is it? Where's the line? Like as a stepfather,
no, but I could try.
Too much hand? Like what's too much hand as a stepfather?
There's no. It doesn't point him on. It's kind of the same. You know what it is? It's like 2/3 of the effect, I think. So his dad not showing up for something, right?
Yeah.
That's probably traumatizing.
Yeah.
Me not showing up for something, it's a bad weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a bad couple of days, maybe.
Sorry, my stepdad's got a dropout at McGuire. This is sad.
My stepdad has
my dad got work because Jessica Kirsten has COVID.
Like it's one of those things where like even if he, what really disappointed him, the older he gets, he'll know what I meant by like I gotta go to work. And then he's gonna be like, that's what you left me for? To go do Greenwich Village Comedy Club?
Hey, put some respect on that.
It's like let's not slide our friend
dead Al Martin's name.
Yeah. But no, so I think the way you can disappoint is by not showing up. Like he has his first day of school coming up. I'm going, but like if I didn't go to that, he'd probably be like, why can't you go? But I really don't think. I think it has like not as much of an effect. I think it really is like it's not like I'm gonna mess. He's gonna go to therapy later because I didn't go.
Have you gotten to the point, and then we'll move on?
Yeah.
Stepdad position. You know that viral video of the girl taking her dad and stepdad to walk her down the aisle. Have you gotten to that point with him yet? You think?
No, because I'd have to be there until. I will say this real quick. I will say that.
You think if you put the work in?
One thing yeah, absolutely. Well, one thing I realized is that he's only known me around. I've known him since he's 3.5. He's 7 now. So technically, like if I'm around the whole time, yeah, I'd probably naturally be at that point where I'd be involved in that level. Mm-hmm. But I'm involved in that level now. I pick him up from school. I drop him off. I do a bunch of stuff with him, and it's great. He's a cool kid. But like, say something didn't work out. I'm gone. And I think I'd still be around, but it'd be like, hey, it's Uncle Sean.
I just thought of the saddest idea for a podcast, stepdad stories. It
would just be like, so, yeah, he was getting married, and I was like, I had these tickets to REO Speedwagon.
Of the Julia Roberts stepmom movie in the back.
So anyway, it's a good gig because, it's no responsibility with all the fun of hanging out with a cool kid. That's really true.
There you go.
And you know me, I always wanted to have kids, and it's kind of the perfect thing for a 46-year-old middling road comic.
Hey, a classic C-Room headliner. I don't want to make this too comedy based, but what's the difference you think between a C room and a D room? Because I was in a room a couple weeks ago where I was like, I think this is a D room, not a C room.
A D room is like a D room is like when you do something and you get there and they're like, did you bring your mic set up?
That's it.
Like, did you bring? It's a thing where and you're like, no, I don't have.
Where
one.
like you're getting in the way of the other employees doing their job.
1,000%. I guess you could. Where does ambush show fall? We could talk about that at some point. We're getting too in the woods here, but
way to it.
Yeah, but let's get into our why you guys are here. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast.
Connolly free press. Keep going. What do we have for stories? Let's get to the meat of the podcast.
Which is, guys. Well, I will say this. You're absolutely right about the city. I'm at the point where both at the point. That's why we started this, where we would easily go to the suburbs, no problem.
Totally. That's why this is the dream of the podcast. Eventually, I want this podcast to do well enough so I can buy a suburban home, guys. I have a little backyard for my dogs.
And I will say that there's a lot of wacky stuff that does go on in suburbs, and that's what we're here to bring you with these news stories and these videos and stuff. So
this was in a Missouri in Wilson's Creek.
It was a national battlefield, and I think it was a wildlife preserve. So what happened?
Suburb outside of wildlife. We're already cheating on our first story. But this is
no, it's still in Missouri. It's like there's a suburb next to it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's a bald eagle that was injured, and the wildlife.
Well, they thought he was injured, right?
No. I think he actually got injured. Oh, healthy, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This bird. They thought he was injured, but it turns out he was just too fat to fly, which is the most that's the most American Pixar movie ever. Would be like an eagle that's too fat to fly, voiced by John Goodman. That would make $500 million.
You just call it. You can call it too fat to fly.
The bird was found healthy, but was engorged with raccoon.
He's doing great.
He ate a whole raccoon.
I'm engorged with grilled cheese right now.
Shouldn't a wildlife preserve be the gym for animals? Like, shouldn't there be enough flying going on?
They don't want to work.
You can eat a raccoon a day and be fine.
Yeah, they don't want to work.
They do not want to work. But this is like this fat bald eagle should just be the new national bird.
I think so. Yeah, I think the fat eagle. It should be like a picture. Like we should model him. Maybe use Chris Christie's body, and then the eagle's face, and then put it on our dollar bills.
The eagle on the beach with his family, but he barred everybody from the beach. I will say this, dude, real quick. Is that the raccoon inside of him?
It's the eagle. You know what it is? It's a beautiful skyline, but.
Oh my God!
This is what it should be the new American cinema. It's a beautiful skyline. You're like, oh man, it would be amazing to fly over there. But at the bottom, it's just an eagle, fat eagle DVRing something.
You know what would be great? It's all the videos you see of a bald eagle, but he's using the American flag to wipe Chipotle saucers. But I will say this: I told you this. I might have talked about it already, but when I was in Alaska, you see bald eagles everywhere. And dude, do you realize how fat this thing has? They're gigantic. Like they're huge already. So this thing must have been, who knows? Do they say the weight in the article, Pat? Or do you know? Or let's see.
Let me check it out.
They don't even want to release. He's shy. He doesn't want to release his weight.
Sean is basically one of those gas station weights you get on how much you weigh?
That doesn't even say.
No weight here.
But dude, you're talking at least.
Is that him with his wingspan right here?
Yeah, that's how big they are. Is that one picking up like a dog or a cat?
This is all of Rogan's podcast, by the way. It's just going.
He does the same thing.
Look at that! Whoa!
But absolutely, this is very telling of our country that we're like, hey, even the birds are getting fat.
We're like
they're taking a note from everybody here.
Yeah, why can't we just have problems like like in the Great Depression, it's like people looked, at least like they died, but they looked hot. All our people are dying, but they look disgusting. It looks just like a line at SeaWorld. That's what our morgues look like.
You're right, the Depression people just look like Abercrombie.
They were chiseled
from the 90s.
They look like James Franco. You know?
That would have been hot, being a Depression baby.
I tell you, I masturbate to the last scene of Grapes of Wrath.
That's your new. You brought that up the other day. It's your new favorite
milk
reference.
into my mouth on a boxcar.
So Godspeed to this eagle, but I don't think you think they're just calling them names and stuff as eagle friends. Who the hell knows what's going on? Can they shame you? Like, can they fat shame you in the eagle community?
Isn't the cool thing about eagles though? It's kind of cool. They don't have friends. Like they're the fucking Fonzes of the bird community.
They are.
Did Fonz really have friends? I guess
no. Richie Cunningham was his friend.
I guess he was his friend. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's always funny who Fonz. This is actually kind of the equivalent. Fonz on Happy Days turned into a fat eagle and later in life. Because he's just like, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, Max Winkler. I mean, I'm sorry, that's his son. I actually work with Max.
Tremendously talented. And hilarious. And Barry, he's unbelievable. But man, if you're a baby of the 70s and you were like a big Happy Days fan, and then you're like,
it is funny.
How traumatizing when you realize that Fonzie was like just kind of a goofy middle-aged Jewish guy.
But to put over Henry Winkler, it's like if you look at like the types of like the guy, it was like him, Tony Danza, who's the boss, and then like Charles in Charge, Scott Baio.
Yeah.
And like all those two guys are actually kind of the roles, and Henry Winkler was actually acting.
Yes.
That's the difference.
That's a good point.
That, like those two actually like
And then
became versions of those roles later in life. And
mention.
He's a real actor.
Scott Valentine from Family Ties played Nick. And he would come in and just go, hey, how you doing?
Then who's the guy? Who was Travolta on?
Vinnie Barbarino.
Vinnie Barbarino.
You mean Chris DiStefano?
Chris DiStefano. There was like a 70s trope of just like illiterate white guys in leather jackets that were like, there was that trope, and then there was the guy, do you remember on the sitcom, they did this on Saved by the Bell, where was the really dangerous, hot-looking guy, and then you realize he can't read, and the end of the episode is them just trying to like...
Was that a Saved by the Bell one?
It was a Saved by the Bell.
I remember they had one where the guy, Jeff, was like the restaurant manager, and he was like a total creep and he was selling drugs and stuff, something like that, whatever. I used to watch Saved by the Bell religiously.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the next article. We got a dad hacks database to fake death and avoid child support pay.
I mean,
when you want to talk about this, I don't have to worry about being this guy as a stepdad.
This is so frustrating for the kid. It's like, not only did my dad not pay, but I know he has enough skills to like get a job at Target if he's able to hack into a government database.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, so why don't you take an SEO class? You'll have multiple skills and just go get a job at like CIA or something. Like, couldn't you, if you can hack into a state computer, can't you work for their IT department and make a decent? Here we go. Jesse Kipp from
81 months. He's doing 85% of that too.
From Kentucky in the U.S. was sentenced to 81 months for computer fraud and aggravated identity theft. The 39-year-old admitted to accessing the Hawaii death registry system in January last year and creating a case for his own death.
Oh, I could create a case for his own death.
Yeah, so I'm sure his wife almost did. Kipp then completed a state of Hawaii death certificate worksheet, assigned himself as the medical certifier for the case, and certified his death using the digital signature of the doctor. This guy's pretty bright. He's just lazy. It's one of these things where it's like, just get a job, dude.
Well, he must have been, because this happens a lot, where one of the ways that you can get a job with the government, which I found out, which is a really crazy way to get a job, is that basically you hack into the FBI or the CIA and you just go, hey, I'm here. I got in.
Is
like
what?
Basically
you mean like
hey, I was able to get in here, so I should work here.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. They do that with like FBI all the time.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this: based off my dad's opinion of civil service, this guy has already worked more than most civil service employees. That's probably why he was able to do it. He counts on the laziness of these medical certifier employees, whatever it is. I don't know what department of health, I guess it would be for Hawaii.
How do these guys do in prison? Because we know child molesters get beaten up and killed.
These guys are probably nothing.
Fine, right?
Yeah, because how many of your buddies in prison aren't paying child support as well?
Molesting, buddy, I haven't even been paying for.
So let's see what happened to him. Kipp completed the death certificate worksheet, assigned himself as the doctor.
I hate that last name,
which has got to be really, really...
Make a decision. Is it Kiff or Kip?
Yeah.
Come on.
It meant he was successfully registered as a deceased person in many government databases. Kipp, what about Brett Favre, admitted that he did it to avoid his outstanding child support obligations of more than $100,000. That means you didn't pay $1, because for a guy who looks like that, your job you probably had, you weren't making that much to begin with. Look at this guy. There's no way. Looks like he works at fucking Tilt-A-Whirl. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that he could, like, $100,000 means like you never paid a dime for them once and they found you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's also something I never understand when they're like, okay, well, he's getting sentenced to 85 months in prison and he's got to pay $200,000. I'm like, well, he's not going to pay that $200,000 fucking. He
kind of looks like evil Nate Bargatze.
Oh my God. He looks like Nate's beliefs, but not his comedy.
I had to cut that out.
Not his comedy, though.
Not his comedy, no. It kind of
looks like evil Nate Bargatze.
Yeah, there he is.
God, he got skinny. He's my inspiration.
He's skinny mini.
He's really doing great.
He's so good. He's so funny. Doesn't the guy? He
does look better. He's getting some sort of work. Oh yeah,
he looks kind of like. They have the same kind of eyes.
This is like
they have the same eyes.
Nate, if things didn't work out,
yeah.
Nate Bargatze.
This is open mic Nate Bargatze. This is
Those eyes.
Bringer showrunner Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of inside baseball references.
Yeah, this one may not be the first step. But he's.
So how did it end up? Let's go. If you don't mind. The hacker also accessed. Hold on. We'll go up for a second. I'm sorry, buddy. The hacker also accessed other death registry systems and companies and unrelated attacks that he carried out using the stolen log in details.
This guy is so close to being Elon Musk. You know, like the show's initiative. Everything he's doing shows
It
initiative.
really does. He was found to be offering to sell access to the systems and selling stolen databases containing private information like social security numbers to other cyber criminals on the dark net. I wonder if it was a case where he's like, I'm going to try to sell this. I make the money, I pay it. Or he's like, I'm dead. I might as well make this off the grid money and just take off somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, especially Hawaii. I feel like people go to Hawaii and Alaska when they're trying to get off the grid because nobody,
But
it's
I
so
feel
remote.
like that's a bad place to get off the grid because you're trapped. I feel like Canada would be better or something.
Yeah, probably. The darknet is a portion of the internet only accessible through specialist software that hides a browser's identity. Yeah, so he knew the dark web. This guy really is pretty pragmatic.
He's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy.
He could
This
be doing
scheme was
better.
a cynical and destructive effort based in part on the inexcusable goal of avoiding his child support obligations, said Carlton S. Shear, the fourth
Fuck
United
you,
States Attorney.
Carlton S. Shear. Anyone who has a S in their name shouldn't be shitting on someone who can't pay child support.
Under
Probably
federal
got
law,
Fox and Hound money.
he must serve 85% of his prison sentence and will be under the supervision of U.S. probation for 3 years. He'll just log into U.S. probation and just finish his probation. He'll just hack into that and be like, forget it. Look at this. Oh, now it's up to $195,000.
Yeah, it's just like he listens to that. He goes, okay, yeah, I'll pay that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, good for you, Kip.
Well,
Good, good, good for you, Kipfy. What?
You didn't get through it, Kip, but next time I feel like you're on to something.
I feel like use your talents for something different, buddy. You really,
On this podcast, we're all about if you can get out of your job in a creative way. Because like the way that we get out of jobs is oh, I'm sick tonight. You know? But if you can find a way to get out of creative, please.
we built.
We're going to set up an email. Send us your stories. Pat, the next episode we have.
DM us on our Instagram. They'll be up by now.
Okay, well, yeah, hit us up on our Instagram. But we're going to have next time. We're going to have like a phone number or something next time we do an episode. Let's leave your stories.
At Burbsbros. Check that. See what happens. Here's a good one. Oscar Mayer. Also, did they misspell it? AP? Isn't it M-E or
is that a Berenstein Bears, Berenstein Bears?
Ooh, it's the Mandela effect.
Mandela effect? Because I remember it being
M-E.
M-E too.
Yeah. Is
that the actual pronouncing?
Oscar Mayer is the mobile if John Mayer is driving it. Oscar John Mayer Wienermobile flips onto its side.
And Oscar Mayer would be if the hot dog fucked your girlfriend. I don't know what it is about this hot dog. You can pull everybody.
Oscar Mayer is if a hot dog played guitar for a bunch of legendary bands and was insufferable doing it. And then tried stand-up comedy for a year and pissed off Kumail Nanjiani. Made fun of him for being brown or something. Remember
that was that story there. There was this show that I think is still around, Seth Herzog's Sweet. He does it like monthly now or something, but I guess he had John. It used to be a super hot show. And John Mayer was.
Did he wear the Wonder Woman costume one too many times?
God, we may not be able to get Seth on the show. But yeah, he was John Mayer at a point where he was doing stand up. I think it was around the time when he was like dating Jessica Simpson.
I think so. It was a while ago. Yeah,
he was he was just getting hammered and like going on up on comedy shows, and unless he played guitar, he would just bomb. That's what I heard, and I guess he. What did he say about Kumail? Something racist or something like 7-Eleven.
Something with the word brown in it.
Okay,
like something about brown.
I just make it more racist.
Yeah. But no. It was pretty. Was
he like one of those Indians or
Daughter Feather? Was that one of those back in the day?
By the way, you guys weren't going crazy. There is a Mandela effect. There was a run of advertisements and articles where they did spell it M-E-Y-E.
There we go.
That's what the Mandela thing is. It's somebody fucking up in ad sales, right?
Exactly.
So even Bernstein's a real one where it was Bernstein? and they just messed with. They just.
So this was human error. This isn't like a Mandela effect.
No, the article itself is the Wienermobile crashing onto its side, but.
This is basically the reason I pulled this one up. This is like the real life Tim Robinson sketch.
That's exactly right.
This is like if the Tim Robinson sketch was real, which is that show is the greatest show ever.
The one where Tim Robinson into a clothing store he drives
dressed
basically the same thing.
The sketch. If you haven't seen the sketch, it's great. But the sketch opens with the hot dog is already has crashed through and they're like, who did this? And then Tim Robinson comes out in a hot dog outfit, be like, yeah, who crashed into this? Clearly he was.
Yeah, guys. He goes, just fess up. It's like it's great.
Hot dogs are the funniest food, right?
Hot dogs are the most like controversial food because everybody knows.
You're not dolphin.
No, not meaning what they're made of, but like everybody's like, oh, they're made of like you don't even know what's in it, mystery meat, whatever it is, and then they're just like, but everybody loves. You can't not.
They just call it hot dogs because of the Dachshunds, the wiener dogs. They will like.
It's got to be that.
Well, people my age call it glizzies.
What the fuck is glizzies?
It's hot dogs. They call them. If I had to guess, it's because of nitroglycerin. Is that what it is, Pat?
I have no clue, but it's really sus to eat a glizzy.
It's suspect.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's what it is.
You're like 29, Pat?
Yeah, I'm 28.
Yeah.
Glizzies. I guess glizzies is a better name than hot dog.
Glizzy sounds like a nickname of a rapper. Doesn't Glizzy sound like MC Glizzy's in the
There
house?
was a time where like
400-pound guy eating a hot dog.
Like rappers started taking drag queen names. Like it just
like who did?
Yeah. What?
Like Glizzy?
Like Glizzy.
Who else had a
rapper?
Who else had a drag queen name?
Well, I don't know. I mean, think about a lot of rappers. Gucci Mane sounds like a drag queen name, doesn't he?
Puff Daddy could be.
Puff Daddy for sure sounds like a something.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I wonder what's going to happen to that guy.
I hope it works out for him.
We have our show is a part of the Puff Daddy Innocence Project. So we think he was given a bad rap.
We think it was CGI, him kicking that girl in the face in that hallway.
Yeah, that wasn't him.
That wasn't him.
If you actually look closely, it was Mace. No.
Well, that's the funniest thing with the Puff Daddy thing is when they're like, when the stuff comes out and they're like, oh, is that why he like tried to fuck me in a closet back like 20 years ago? Like everybody's like, oh, I guess that should have been a red flag when he full on just grabbed my ass in his house.
He did give us all a mouth spreader way into the party. Puff Daddy.
It's got to be one of those things where
you think he's going to get out of it.
I do not. I think I think what he'll do is have his.
He could do the Russell Simmons.
The guy's a billionaire. He'll have his high-powered lawyers get him he won't do any jail time. And if he does, it's going to be short.
Russell Simmons just moved, like he was like, fuck this, and moved to Thailand. Like when he got his accusations.
Oh, but yeah.
He hasn't left.
Right. You couldn't hear anything about Russell. Because he was also 60-something years old at that point.
Well, yeah, because he was like, I'm not going to go through this.
He just took a page out of, what's his name's book? The producer. Well, not Phil Spector. Who's the one? Oh, no, the director, Roman Polanski.
Yeah,
that guy's been, out of there. He was Me Too before Me Too, Roman Polanski.
Yeah,
and he was like, I'm just not coming back from France or wherever he lives.
Well, that was a weird one too because it was in the 90s. Where like, and he still got like a standing ovation when he won the Oscar.
Yeah,
so they're all fucking pedophiles.
Hollywood. Yeah, well, they love.
You know what it is? It's like so many people in that room had fucked like 14-year-old girls. They're like, all right, come on, give him a break.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Exactly what it was.
And they had somebody had a bit once. They're like, hey, I know the Woody Allen thing's like really controversial, but. You know, you got to give him credit. Like, he's been with the same daughter for like 30 years. I'm sorry, I forget your name, but whoever the comic was, that's a hilarious joke.
Yeah. Which is a weird move, but I don't know. We don't have to get into this on the podcast. I don't know if the Ronan one happened, but I think that, definitely the.
I don't know what happened. All I know is that the guy really hasn't left the daughter and. I watched part of that documentary. I don't even remember half the documentary.
Well, Mia Farrow, you're welcome on our show at any time. Give your side of the story. I don't think we could get Woody.
I highly doubt it. So the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile story just became about pedophiles in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean that's a very pedophile-looking car.
It's very phallic. The hot dog shaped Wienermobile hit a car Monday morning along Interstate 294.
Got into a pickle, and that's not even a right pun.
Can't look over that.
An Oscar Mayer Wienermobile got into a pickle on a Chicago. Come on, man. That's not the right pun because they're both phallic looking.
Can we
hot dogs and pickles don't go well together.
Hot dogs, barbecue, pickles, hamburgers. Here's the thing. Can we all admit that the world's ending when the AP, this is the second time I've seen AP do their own jokes in articles. Can they, who's writing for the AP at this point? It's supposed to be just straight fact.
It's supposed to be the straight fact. Well,
also, the more I see this, the hot dog shape, the driver lost control. This is a guy who his job was driving the Wienermobile. He had some other gig that was great. Something happened, and he got loaded and drove the Wienermobile. Like, there's no way you're not a drunk driving the Wienermobile.
I just think it's like hilarious to get into, because like I'm in my car, and if you drive in New York in your car, you're a maniac. You have to be screaming all the time. So it's just funny for me to go through that process in a hot dog.
Yes. It's also impossible to get road rage if the Wienermobile hits you. Like, you imagine getting hit from behind and go, what the fuck?
Yeah, Tracy Morgan would not have gotten a settlement if it was a Wienermobile.
you go, what the fuck? You turn around and go, oh, the Wienermobile.
Oh,
it's adorable.
I'm not blood, it's ketchup. Wait, it's blood and ketchup. It is a hilarious way to die. I mean, it's the funniest way to die is getting hit by a...
I know a kid, he didn't die from it, but he got hit by an ice cream truck when he was like 7.
Yeah, it was bad?
Yeah, and then he died in Iraq.
Oh my God, that is the bleakest.
It's true. I feel terrible.
What is this? A good humor podcast?
Hold on. Here we go. Let me get you here. No injuries were reported after the crash, which prompted the closure of the right lane northbound. A spokesperson for the Oscar Mayer brand, which has several Wienermobiles, told the Chicago Sun-Times.
Were they flexing there? Well, it's not our only. We use one Wienermobile. It's all right. We got a whole.
They come and go. These Wienermobiles.
We got a whole silo filled.
It's grateful that everybody involved is safe and there were no injuries. What about the hot dogs? What happened to those? Video from the crash scene shows that the yellow and orange Wienermobile was later hauled away on a flatbed truck with apparent damage.
Could I buy as a citizen? Could I buy a Wienermobile?
I think it has to be decommissioned, almost like a Pope mobile. The church comes in. Oscar Mayer comes in and he takes a hot dog and waves it like they do, like they do in church.
Well, that's actually what they give hot dogs to problematic priests. Like, everything you want to do on Timmy, do on this hot dog.
Or they go to the kids and they go, "Where on this hot dog did the priest touch you?" Yeah, we got the gist of what the Oscar Mayer thing is here. They don't even have the picture of it. They do have the picture of it.
No, they have the picture of that.
Yeah. It is a sad sight because it really is a joyous thing when you see it on the highway. People love it, so you do kind of feel bad when you see it. Like it's like watching like the sad part of Cars, the movie. It's like watching a cartoon character dying. You know.
Yeah, that always is weird to me when in those animated movies when they make a choice to kill off something that's not alive in the first place. Are you just making us feel bad?
Are you thinking of the exact example I am in my head that's traumatized me as a kid?
Brave Little Toaster?
No, I didn't watch that.
That's great.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where they take
with the shoe? Yeah, I just saw that the other day.
That dude,
that was scary.
I cried when I was 8 or 7. I cried with that. I've never forgot. I'll never.
This was 2 years ago. You cried.
Yeah, you're right. I was 44 years old.
44 years old.
I was drinking.
It's part of the divorce. You're just rewatching the same scene.
I got divorced.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The same guy who framed Roger Rabbit is responsible for my divorce.
I called my ex-wife. I'm like, you're just like Judge Doom. Here we go.
Chicken Wings advertises boneless can have bones. This is the fattest Supreme Court decision of all time, guys.
And there's been a lot of fatties on the Supreme Court.
There's been a lot of fatties. And this was something... Yeah, this was... I cannot even fucking corrupt Clarence Thomas could get behind this. How can you fucking market a boneless chicken bone with bones in it?
You can't. It's insane. This is insane. First off, isn't there a health hazard here? Like your kid grabs it and starts choking on the boneless chicken bones?
I just don't know what this means for our country.
What do you think?
Consumers cannot expect boneless chicken wings to actually be free of bones, a divided Ohio Supreme Court ruling Thursday. I guess with KFC, you're just happy it's chicken.
Yeah. Or McDonald's.
Here's
the thing. Are we misconstruing this? Are they saying you find one bone in it by accident and that's why you can't, meaning that you can't sue if you find that? because it must happen by accident. Is that the whole idea here?
I guess it's got to happen by accident.
But if you set this precedent,
But is that
you
you
work
a
at
new
the
commercial? Like, unlike other boneless wings places, ours actually don't have bones. And then they have like a video of somebody like biting into a boneless chicken wing and like a cartoon dog bone is like sticking.
Well, they got to a point with McDonald's where they had to be like made with actual real chicken, remember? Because they would just make it into like that, like not cotton candy, it was like taffy almost. Yeah.
Taffy.
And then they were like, all right, you had Chick-fil-A, and they were like, all right, now I guess we'll do the right thing. Because they were like grinding down everything. You know, like that was like the old trope where it was like, oh, you know what McNuggets are made of and whatever it is.
Right.
And then you saw it and you're like, oh my God, but they're still delicious. They were just taking the whole entire chicken and making it a paste. And then, you were just like, so you really were grinding down bones there, but it got so pulverized, you were like, I'll eat that. But at least you know it's fresh if you get an actual bone. You're like, you just debone this thing.
Oh, there is. I can't think of a bleaker job than, oh, yeah, I'm a deboner. I work at a chicken facility where I take the bones out of the chickens.
Apparently, they're horrifying.
You watch enough, you become a vegetarian. You feel so bad.
That would do it for me. Here we go. The Michael Burkheimer was dining with his wife and friends at a wing joint. Wing joint. Stop, AP. Just call it a restaurant in Hamilton, Ohio.
Well, they probably already said restaurant, and you see restaurant.
Okay, good point. Good point. And had ordered the usual boneless wings with Parmesan garlic sauce when he felt a bite-sized piece of meat go down the wrong way.
Garlic sauce for wings. I never get that.
I never get it either. 3 days later, feverish and unable to keep food down, Burkheimer went to the emergency room where the doctor discovered a long, thin bone that had torn his esophagus and caused an infection. I think you're just on meth at that point. Burkheimer sued the restaurant Wings on Brookwood, saying the restaurant failed to warn him.
The worst names for a wings place. It's too fancy for a wings place. Wings on Brookwood?
Yeah.
You know?
It's very. You should at least have no bones if you're called Wings on Brookwood. But here's the thing. You full on, this is so, it's like, this is as bad. This really happened to this guy. It's like the coffee thing that people were like making fun of that lady. She had third-degree burns.
You see like her fucking whole thigh looked like the different ears of a tree. It was, the
if you're boneless, if you're a restaurant and your boneless wing rips somebody's esophagus, you deserve a payout. 1,000%. I'm sorry. That's like a legitimate injury. You know what it is? I'm sure it's a one-off restaurant. And they were like, okay, we'll just go to the Supreme Court with this because, like, we'll be bankrupt if we have to pay you out for this thing.
Man, this is really victim blaming. In a 4-3 ruling, the Supreme Court said Thursday that boneless wings refers to a cooking style and that Burkheimer should have been on guard against bones. And says, what were you wearing when you ate those bones, Burkheimer?
Also, who was the deciding 2 votes?
No, somebody who's got some money from the fucking Purdue chicken plants.
Yeah, Clarence Thomas action. His boneless wings and a Coke. Hey, that's a callback.
Unrelated. That's such the disgustingest thing. Where I had a joke about that for Michelle once. Where it was something about Lindsey Graham sending for the Coke back because it didn't have a pube on it. But that's really good. Yeah, you know, every once in a while, I pull one out.
You really are a funny guy.
This boneless chip. My question is, I just want to get into why is it? So kind of on topic, a little off topic. Why is it that Popeyes is so much better than KFC? Like, because they're both fast food chicken. They should be on the same lane, right? They're same prices. It is worlds better.
It's way better, and I think KFC used to be as good at, probably better than Popeyes was before.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
My bad, guys.
KFC, back in the day, KFC was like legit.
It looked great, but I didn't think.
And I think over time they got looking more.
That was a Roy Rogers.
More commercial. So was I. So were we.
Yeah.
Roy Rogers. Oh shoot! Sorry.
Rogers great.
I just lost you on the headphones.
They're just salty goodness. Are you getting reconnected right now?
I'm not. Oh yeah. Where's the thing? Sorry about that, buddy. I don't know. I must have pulled it out with my foot. I apologize. Oh, thanks. Sorry about that.
Like, there's some debate, like Popeyes, KFC. Like, there's some debate between, all right, do you like a Whopper better or a Big Mac better? But there's just no debate with Popeyes and KFC. I've never seen anybody.
But at one point, you would have had it. I really believe that. Some people loved KFC.
Have you gone to churches?
And then they got to the point where they were just like food scientists. They were doing the double down and the bowl thing, where they were just putting like the corn and the mac and cheese and then chicken on the bottom. And they were like, and because they're owned by the Yum Foods, Taco Bell, and Taco Bell, they're all just known for like, hey, what's the wackiest shit we can put out for 3 months that people love? Almost like the McRib with McDonald's, but even more like, we don't care what's in it. We're just making it. They eat it quick in the middle of the country, wherever the fuck, and then go on their way. And
I think Taco Bell is probably the best fast food place.
Which one? Taco Bell?
I mean, I understand it's not the favorite. It's not like the most delicious. Like you can argue that Popeyes is more delicious than Taco Bell, but Taco Bell, as far as like being affordable, how many of them, vegetarian options.
You're talking fast food.
I'm talking. You want to fast.
$6, $8.
Yes, I think Taco Bell is like the go-to.
Yeah, you're right. Because Chick-fil-A is expensive.
Chick-fil-A is too expensive.
Chick-fil-A is expensive.
Really good, but it's like going to a good home style.
But you're absolutely right. Popeyes, it's got to be because it's based off its ownership. Because if
I'm getting so fucking hungry talking, and I do not need to be eating.
All right, let's go to the next one. We good, Pat. Thanks.
What do we got?
But also, that wing looks awful. Like, whatever
I don't think it looks that bad.
You don't think it looks that bad? Actually,
Sean is a
looks
picky
like real
eater,
chicken.
guys. Just to let you know, Sean's a very picky eater.
I'm a plain Jane.
I was actually
Guys, so you can
surprised.
tell the difference between Popeyes and KFC if you did like a blind taste test.
Yes, I could.
I could totally tell the difference.
I think we should try it out. I think we should do a blind taste test.
No, Pat, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't get a bunch of fried chicken. Perhaps some instant mashed potatoes and amorphous gravy. The mashed potatoes and gravy is always the worst.
Sage Remain's like, I'll probably pay you tomorrow for Popeye's fried chicken today.
This is unrelated. All right, I went to an AA meeting once, and yes, I'm blowing the second A on this. I don't care. But there's this big, clearly gay man who, in a robe who like lotioned himself. What?
Nothing. I was kidding. I was going to say name, just on the off chance he's in recovery.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
He was clear, and he goes, women love me. He would like talk about like women are just going crazy for me every time. He's like, and I have a great, and he would like talk about how elite he was while eating McDonald's. Like, well, this guy was like out to. This is the greatest thing about AA. Like one time, like I went to a meeting with Tim Dillon, and we went to a meeting and we got in there, and it was like. Just a fucking guy with a serpent staff stuck, and I'm like, how do you get to that point? Oh my god, dude! There's guys in AA meetings. AA is the wildest place. Like, I'm not supposed to say any of this stuff, and I'm saying now, but that's what you get with our podcast. I got to put some juice on this thing. But you have people in AA. Like there was one guy I knew who he was dressed like a Hare Krishna, and then he wore a sign around his neck that said "incest survivor."
Jesus Christ!
It just takes all time because it's the one place you don't have to pay anything.
You know what's crazy about
get a story?
The
first greatest deal in town in a lot of ways.
The first dude you mentioned. It's so crazy to watch the physical representation of somebody's delusion and their treatment for it at the same time. So the McDonald's is like, so he can just like go on and he's literally saying the things that he's deluded about.
Yeah.
That must have been a weird thing to watch. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, there's so much crazy shit that happens. That was the same AA meeting at midnight. What's up on House? Where I would relapse by going into their bathroom and drinking like a 12-pack, and then I would go across the street and watch whatever movies was showing at the Film Forum.
Drunk movie guy. I can't stand going to movies drunk.
I went to No End in Sight, which is a documentary about Iraq.
Loaded.
Did
you pretend you were a veteran?
Yeah. I go, simplify.
I went to the menu because we were already drinking.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie, but I went there. I couldn't take it being drunk in the movie
Really?
theater. I stayed the whole time and I was like, that sucked. And my girlfriend was like, it was great. I liked it a lot. She's like, you were still too drunk. I'm like, yeah, that's why I don't go to movies drunk. I can't do it.
Have you seen it not drunk?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it's good. It's actually a good movie.
Yeah, it's done really well.
She is Anna Taylor-Joy is so beautiful but strange looking. I've never seen somebody who's as beautiful and strange looking.
Yeah, she's very attractive.
As her, she's very attractive but also strange looking.
Are you very exotic looking? Was your dad a GI?
Yeah, and she's bilingual too. She's like she's like somebody who's gonna like end up marrying a king or something.
What does she speak?
Spanish.
Oh, here we go. Next article: driver from viral court video had ordered to suspend license lifted years ago.
I just want to. I mean, have you ever seen this video?
No.
You need to watch this video. This is the greatest video.
Is that it right there?
If people, I believe, now there is I will say there's a caveat for this video. If it's not there, it should be on YouTube. But Is it not pulling up, Pat?
I'm going to grab it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
All right, I'll read it so far. If you just scroll up just a little bit,
Okay.
I'll read the. A judge slammed Corey Harris for operating his car during a remote hearing, but Harris could have had his license reinstated in 2022 if not for a clerical error.
So, okay, so this is just, I'm sending you this is like the funniest getting in trouble with the cops I've ever seen.
When I sent you the article, I was figuring that. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Here's a news story. If you just get there we go.
Video by now, it's gone around the country. He was the man seen driving during a virtual court hearing in Washington
Have you never
County,
seen this? It's so
driving
funny.
on a suspended license.
It's so
7
great.
News reporter Kimberly Craig was able to track Harris down, who is adamant
believe
that the
it.
That's the
suspension
greatest
should
part
have
of
been
that.
lifted more than
And
2
he's like,
years
oh,
ago.
fuck.
Well, tonight, Kim
Like, he
is
totally-
back on the story with information that could help a lot
do
of
we not,
people.
Hold on, let me see.
the actual video,
A
I don't
similar
think.
situation.
This isn't the actual video.
Trying
No,
to get
there's
to the bottom
they
of why court of the virtual court
All right.
hearing that
Okay,
went
that's-
viral after a judge ordered Harris to jail for driving with a suspended license.
Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Harris admits he was driving to get his wife to the doctor, but what he can't understand is why his license was still suspended 2.5 years after the judge ordered it lifted. The Saginaw County friend of the court has not
me try to find
responded to our
Okay, so it didn't at the time we found out he actually wasn't in trouble, but we actually found out it was their fault. But at the time he had just forgotten that he had a suspended license.
But it's also like he knows it from the hearing.
Problem is
and then
now all the videos are the fucking it's all it's all
he's in the car. You go, all right, turn myself in. I'll be right there. I'll be there in 10 minutes. What do you say? What is
You
your
don't want
excuse?
to Uber pull your way to jail, right?
You get an Uber to pull you. You good fellas. You go, now take me to jail. but the what do you say? You go, no, this is what my living room looks like. I got it from Dodge.
Yeah, you're like green screen. No, you just take it. When that happens, you're just like, oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah, but you're popping on. So did he? So unknowingly he did that. Is that what it was? He had a hearing and didn't know what it was for, or he's just that dumb? And that's why he was in his car.
It appears that he's that dumb in the video, but now after I guess after internet detectives did their due diligence, he was not at fault. But at the time, it was just like he basically wait, your license can be suspended due to child support?
Yeah.
Man, the system really is tough, dude. We're really we're getting behind all the bad people on the show.
That's our thing. We're for the underdogs in the show. The suburban underdogs.
Suburban underdogs.
You ever see the one?
We're
You probably bring
Puff
it up.
Daddy and guys who don't pay child support.
Hold on, you could probably bring it up. There's another one where the judge, the guys.
Wait.
Ashley, I'm pulling.
Wait, this is funny.
Mr. Harris?
He's trying to make a case for himself being in the car.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Ashley, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually.
This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving. And
The judge was like
he
Black
didn't have a
Sully.
license. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is turning himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today.
So let me see if I can get
Ann
a rhyme.
Arbor District Judge Cedric.
Yeah.
It's so funny. You ever see the other one where the guy's wearing the Dolphins jersey and she goes, Mr. So-and-so, you were arrested for stealing a Dolphins jersey?
And he has
It's
it
on
on.
the courtroom, yeah. I might have sent it on the videos that we had.
That's so funny.
That's funny. We got to wrap it up pretty soon, my friend, but we do have a Patreon.
We have
don't
a couple other stories.
We
right?
do.
What are we at, Pat? Timing wise?
Oh, we got like 15 more.
Yeah, 15 more? I missed time today. I apologize.
It's okay. Trying to get out of here.
I am not trying to.
Let's go back to the story page, Pat. Oh, we're trying to do stealing dolphins first.
Oh, yeah. See, yeah. It's
Sorry. No. Yeah.
that might be him on top, right? This is it.
All right, Nelson Walker. There you are.
Next, we're in Miami-Dade County, where Nelson.
So they fuck this up with all the the voiceovers.
Judge
over
Ward
all
seems
these.
a bit
It's the worst things about it.
No?
He's wearing. He's got an answer.
This ain't the one, young.
No?
No, ma'am.
I mean, he's not wrong there. You could have a
I
couple.
ain't took no jersey. I ain't took now jersey.
Walker first insists.
Why,
She's
why
like
even
about to crack up.
Why even cause the confusion? There's so much. I don't know whose idea it was to put these cameras in all
Maybe
these
this
freaking
guy
courtrooms.
only has jerseys.
I don't know whose idea it was, but it's a gold mine for the internet. For the one where the girl went to high school with the guy and he starts crying. It's crazy.
Oh, I've seen that one.
It's
yeah.
insane. And then
there's that old judge who's like always like letting people get off because he's like
that's a show.
He's the warm-hearted judge.
Yeah, he's like the parking meter judge.
Yeah, he's
Like, and it's
you helping your mom with cancer? Don't worry about it.
And it's in Rhode Island, so they're all just like carnies. They just come in. There's like, I had to take my sister to the doctor, and I had to come in after the fact. He's like, so I parked in front of the meter.
Another lovely. I was about to say,
Rhode Island at all.
another lovely area of the country where my wife is from and where Sean hails. Long Island teacher sues school district over pride flag policy. So yeah, I mean, essentially, Bohemia.
Do you want to read this?
Yeah, a Long Island math teacher filed a lawsuit against the school district Tuesday with the hope of reversing the district's 2022 policy to remove pride flags and stickers, which he says is, of course, it's discriminatory. Which, according to Report in Newsday, you can't just take pride. That's not a political thing. Is a pride flag? Is it? I guess it is.
Yeah.
How does it work? If it's got the trans color on it, is it political or is it normal gays fine?
It's Long Island. It just has to be colorful. It could be a rainbow bright poster. Here's the thing. Has there ever in the history of humanity been a time where you've seen a pride flag and you go, you know what? Maybe sucking cock. Maybe I should try. Like it's the flag isn't what's promoting you're in or you're gay or you're not. Here's the thing, real quick. 2 points. One, it's just this math teacher doing it. It's not the Contaquad a committee for the advancement of gay and pride.
No.
And secondly, 2 years it took for somebody to complain about this. In Long Island. On Long Island.
I do. There is something funny about like a Long Island teacher of like some kid coming in and with like, "Hi, Mister." Take that shit off. Take that fucking shit off.
That's exactly how he'd say it. It's a quasi don't say gay policy.
Yeah, this is from the Joey Buttafuoco High School. Buttafuoco High.
I think Chris went here.
You know what it is? Long Island's the land of take it easy. The minute you came in with a gay pride flag on, they go, take it easy. Take it easy.
It's I was there over the weekend. We were in Hamptons, which is very different than the other.
Very different. They want to become their own county. You know that, right?
Oh, that's fine.
Hamptons wants to secede from Suffolk County, and
that's a secession that actually may work.
Probably would.
Because the other Long Island, they probably don't want them there either, right?
Who, Suffolk?
Yeah.
Nassau is becoming Suffolk. You might as well be fucking Kentucky in some parts of.
But like nobody's like, oh, them Hamptons, they're soul of the earth over there.
No, they love the Hamptons, but nobody relates to the Hamptons growing up.
No.
But I also didn't relate to Contaquan. I grew up 5 minutes from Queens, so it's like you think of them as like the rednecks as well, you know?
Yeah.
But it's so funny, all the holes in this article, because it took 2 years for somebody to go, hey, this seems kind of messed up. It's not 1976. It's like 2022 to 2024. It's post-pandemic.
I feel like Thomas Dale is the only gay Long Island likes. Like you have to be a certain type of gay to make it. But that's not really fair because like, my wife's like, so many of her friends were gay. So many men she dated in high school were gay, you know, like, so it's a huge sizable.
No, of course there's tons of gay people in Long Island, and there's tons of prideful gay people in Long Island, but
yeah.
as an amalgam, the mean average of it is a lot of homophobia. And a lot of meatheads, exactly.
Dude, I told you this, I think on our old podcast, but whatever, there's a new one to do this. But we were at my at one of my family parties growing up, and one of my aunts just grabbed a Melissa Etheridge CD and goes, "Yes, I am gay." Like it was a big laugh line. Everyone's like, "Yeah!" She did like a victory lap,
high fiving. Let's go to this next one. I'll read it.
Yeah, this is our big story, guys. Chick-fil-A plans to launch streaming service with original shows. So Fucking Mama June and Honey Boo Boo are coming back, baby.
After Dark program, it's boneless chicken wings with bones. Boneless chicken wings boning. Yeah, Mama June coming back. Do they mean? Can we scroll up? I'm wondering what the hell they mean. It's got to be within the stores, I guess, but seems like it'll ruin my Chick-fil-A experience. Here we go. Fast food giant Chick-fil-A has ruffled feathers over new reports claiming the company is working to expand its chicken sandwich and waffle fry empire into the entertainment space. Chick-fil-A is apparently moving quickly to create its very own streaming platform with a slate of original and licensed content. It's going to be repeats of Seventh Heaven.
Is Popeye's going to start getting in a podcast now?
The service won't just be chick flicks either.
It's so funny watching, by the way.
It'll be dick flicks.
Like, we're rewatching Seventh Heaven clips with that, knowing that guy's a pedophile now. Because, like, the stuff they would freak out on the show would be like, oh my God, did you hear? Someone smoked weed.
The mom goes, I smoke pot. And they like, they almost disown her as a mom.
Yeah, they only disown her as a mom. And
was that guy a full on pedophile?
I think he was hiding it. I mean, he admitted to one. I mean, that in therapy, he admitted that he had touched a girl which I don't know. I think that came out because he was in a really nasty divorce, and then they released that because I don't think it's
almost
legal.
like the wife knew and kind of leaked it, which sounds like that. Like she found like something, and she's like, "Here we go, I win. Yeah. This is easy." Oh, here we go.
He hasn't worked since then.
The company has reportedly been in talks with various Hollywood production companies to create family-friendly, mostly unscripted original shows. What would that be? It would just be people getting
fucking probably like Connect 4. You know, it's like all it's got to be dumb games. It can't be like be like chess. You know?
Yeah, it would just be like
it'd be like find the.
It'd be them
like find the cup game. It would be like stuff like that.
It'd be that the Scared Straight camps as a reality show.
Well, this guy Michael Sugar, he's produced. He actually is married to a girl I went to high school with.
He produced the movie Spotlight.
She's like she was like a smoke show. So because he's like older,
yeah,
he did pretty well for himself.
So he's a legitimate producer.
Yes, yeah. They're both are legit. I've seen Spotlight. I haven't seen 13 Reasons Why, but I don't think the next must see. I don't think the next Succession is going to be coming from Chick-fil-A, the Chick-fil-A streaming service.
But it's interesting that he signed on for that when he produced both of them. One of them was about suicide.
Chick-fil-A? Like, what would they call it?
Chick-fil-A? That's pretty good.
It's not all right.
Well, one of them is about suicide. 13 Reasons. I think I never saw it.
Yes, it's
and
best.
Spotlight's about pedophiles in the Catholic Church.
Yes.
So isn't Chick-fil-A?
He likes to make money, this guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he would. I think if the priest gave him enough money, he would make a move.
I love how you just had it right there. I go, what could be going on with this guy? Is it possible a Hollywood producer has no morals?
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking
of which, I watched Ed Wood last night. That's the greatest movie ever. Also has a pedophile in it. Jeffrey Jones is in that movie.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of movies, man.
He's great.
It ruins my childhood a little bit. He's the principal from Ferris Bueller's, and I just rewatched that, and I still love it, but it's tough. He was like, and he almost got away with it because he was like Deadwood, Devil's Advocate, and he's a good character actor, really good character actor.
Yeah, very good character actor.
Some joke the Chick-fil-A streaming platform would not function on Sundays since the restaurant has historically closed on the day because the company's Christian founder observes the Sabbath, which maintains Sunday is the rest and worship. And for binging our new show, Christ the Redeemer.
We get Burbsbros on Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Imagine we got a deal. Hey, with like a deadline announces, Burbsbros gets a 13-episode order from Chick-fil-A.
We do blind taste tests.
Yeah, or it would be like they would redo it, but with Christian, it would be like Burbsbros, but with Kirk Cameron and Dean Cain. What's their fun back and forths?
Melanie Dirigo, she said, if Chick-fil-A can afford to spend millions of dollars on a streaming platform, they can afford to pay their workers a living wage.
I mean, I agree, but also it's like you can make that argument about everything,
yes.
So every single fucking new innovation that a company brings out, we have to bring up the fact that, well, yeah, but you should pay the people who make the least more.
Yeah.
Well, you also have to have some innovation. I'm going to sound like a heartless capitalist here, but
here's a Deadline article.
Chick-fil-A be like, come for the homophobic chicken, stay for the streaming service steeped in bigotry and Christian nationalism. Shut up, Brandon.
All these
Let's
bad
go,
names.
Brandon.
All these bad names on the show today. Ms. Rock.
Yeah. This is the problem, man. I'm like a Kennedy Democrat, not an RFK Kennedy Democrat, by the way. Whatever the fuck he is now.
You're back in the day.
Whatever. But like,
JFK.
This is why it's like every liberal is just so unlikable. Like, it's just like how they phrase stuff. It's like Chick-fil-A be like, come for the homophobic, stay for the streaming service steeped in bigotry and Christian nationalism. As soon as you hear that, you're like, fuck you.
It's also
I'm team Chick-fil-A.
We're making fun of it. We're making fun of it, but also it hasn't started yet. Relax. What if it's just softcore porn?
Most likely it will fall apart. Most likely this is like not going to be a thing. We've seen so many. Apple is still struggling. Chick-fil-A is going to struggle.
Yeah, I don't know why they thought this would be a viable business to go into. Paramount Studios is shutting down.
I heard
Paramount TV Studios, not studios, television studios is shutting down. That's huge. They had Yellowstone.
There's not a lot of jobs anymore.
And Tulsa.
There's not many rooms getting staffed. There's not a lot. All right. Well, this is turning into an industry. But we hope you enjoyed our show.
I think we should give the Burbies a little sneak peek of what we do on Patreon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, let's do one. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do one.
Well,
we got one.
Also, you brought some videos which I haven't.
Haven't seen?
I haven't seen. Sean brought some Burbsbros videos for us, which I guess this is
good. Just
South Carolina.
Let's see your reaction. This is pretty great. This is a famous one.
Judge number 5, Amy Teagarden.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future.
Watch him out.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
How professional is he that he just goes, thank you very much,
I mean,
South Carolina?
I'm sure that he's so used to these dumb bitches talking that like his head just goes immediately like autopilot whenever they start talking.
She's me after 5 tequilas. That's exactly that. If I was in that pageant, that would be me. You got me Casamigos, and such as she's using all these grammatical things that we just, and that's why. Such as in South Africa and Iraq, she's like, "What's the most exotic places I can think of?"
The most obnoxious we've ever been as far as like trivia questions. I think I told you this once. My first year of comedy, I had a cocaine problem and bought some cocaine, and I'm going to say this street comic named Jason Schneider, who does like street comics.
I know exactly who that is.
This girl Jen and I think John Savoy. We were all in a Howard Johnson motel doing blow, and because when you're on coke, you just want to talk all the time. We had a timer, so you were allowed to talk for 2 minutes before someone else started. And we had a hat, and you would pull topics out of the hat, and it'd be like, okay, John, what's your opinion on steroids in baseball? And then they would talk about it for 2 minutes. It was
coked out charade.
It was Chick-fil-A, get it on your streaming service.
Also, I guarantee you,
the worst improv game ever.
Every one of those rounds was more eloquent than that clip you just saw. I guarantee.
I don't know. It was bad. It was that was
that on the Patreon.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough.
Also, we could probably look it up. I guess she might have won. Like
pageants. Once they get to like a level, because like once you get to most beauty pageants, like there's usually 5 of them that are all. What happened with the light? Is everything all right?
Yeah, I think it's.
I got it.
There's usually like 5 of them that are all hot enough that they could win.
Yeah.
And then and all their answers are usually like the same. And every once in a while, when some girl like knows another language or like who a classic composer is, they go ape shit.
Let me ask you this. Do this. What we just saw with that clip. You just saw it for the first time. Translate just from memory. You saw it once. What did she say?
I will tell you what she said. She said what she was trying to say in the beginning was the school should provide more math for children, which is not what they asked.
They've got a giant one in the front of the room.
And then by the end of it, it turned into we should be helping other countries by math. That's what the answer was, right?
so funny.
You know, the problem is, this is the problem, man, with these hot girls is that, like, right backstage, they have some fucking guy being like, I thought it was a good answer.
1,000%.
He's like, I thought you did a good answer. I don't know what they're talking about.
That's not even just one. That's multiple dudes.
I know that because I've been that guy every time.
I can't
think
say
that's great. Yeah, I want to hear your original song.
Be like, I know what you meant because I'm a big fan of maps. I actually have some.
Exactly.
I'd like to show you if I could. Yes, thank you guys so much. That is what we do on the Patreon. We do the videos. We talk some more. We
have other stories too. We have a few stories we didn't get to.
We'll get some more Dan Koch stories for you if you want. Guys, check us out online. You can. It's accompanied to the YouTube and to on all the podcast apps where you can find us.
We have a
online
YouTube channel. We have an Instagram. Follow us, our personal Instagrams, and
what is yours, Dan?
Dan St. Germain. I also have a special ad on YouTube, Dance Fatty Dance, trying to get that to 100K, baby. So keep the views coming.
And I am at Shawnee Time on Instagram. That's SEANYTIME. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week. And make sure to follow the Patreon. Bye.